The newly redesigned Forester is here with a hybrid powertrain that gets 581-mile range, 35 miles combined, keeping 8.7 inches of clearance. We're showcasing the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid Limited in crimson red over gray leather interior. 4 hybrids to choose from. The engine, it's all new. And it's developed from Subaru's Boxer engine that's going to get 18 horsepower more than the non-hybrid engine. The CVT transmission, it's not going to be the same as the lineartronic. It's a planetary base instead of adjustable pulleys. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rods. I'm going to go over some pros and cons as I review this from the exterior, going into the interior, giving an in-depth review of what you're getting out of the 4 trims. And we're going to take it for a test drive so you can see the difference in the performance from this opposed to the gas variant. Up front, standard steering response LED headlights, daytime runnings. It configures into the more flat but prominent grille, more grown up, so it looks a little bit more athletic. And all hybrids on the lower bit get the LED fog lights. And 8.7 inches of clearance. Now the Wilderness is going to increase 0.5 inches of clearance. You'll get the max towing capabilities. You could also put a lot more weight on top of the roof rails, but they don't offer that when you're going into the hybrid. You can only get the premium, the sport, the limited that we're showcasing, and the touring, all of which are going to house the same 2.5 liter Boxer engine with a hybrid electric drive technology. And that system has a max output of 118 horsepower with 199 pound-feet of torque, giving a combined of 194 horsepower paired to the lineartronic CVT transmission. Now, it sounds confusing because it's the same name, but it's a completely different transmission layout. This is a little bit more bulletproof because of the planetary base instead of those adjustable pulleys with the belts, because you typically have to service that every 30,000 miles. You don't have to do that with this actual transmission. Achieving 35 mpgs for the city, 34 mpgs for the highway. The premium hybrid will get 17-inch wheels. The sport and the touring hybrid get 19-inch wheels. The limited get these 18-inch wheels, which I feel this is a good size for this vehicle. It's going to weigh around 300 pounds more than the non-hybrid. So for performance, it's still going to be probably not the quickest vehicle in class, but you're getting 581 miles. One con though is this hybrid badging on the B. It's so bright as if they've done something groundbreaking. Hybrid's been out for a little while, so I understand you want to give a little twist to it, but it looks like it has some kind of sunburn to it, like the sun has actually faded out the B. The limited gets the dark gray finished folded side mirrors. The touring will get the crystal black Celica finished folding side mirrors, and these integrated turn signals on the side view mirrors that start on the sport hybrid trim going into the touring and the limited trim. It's not going to be on the premium hybrid trim. These raised roof rails, keeping true to the heritage of Subaru, you can fit 700 pounds on top of them. The panoramic moonroof, that's standard on all hybrid powertrains. So when you're comparing this against competition, you're going to get a lot more features and save anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, maybe even $7,000 compared to anyone in class, because you're getting a standard symmetrical all-wheel drive system. And it's not going to be the same as Toyota's hybrid system, where the hybrid powertrain only drives the front wheels and the rear axle is powered by 3 electric motors when necessary, whereas the Forester uses the engine in the hybrid system to power all 4 wheels, which is not the case in anybody in class. So when you're thinking about doing some off-road, you can still conquer that with this, similar to the regular Forester, and get great MPGs. And the suspension gets a McPherson strut front with a multi-link rear, which means it's a double wishbone suspension, so it's going to be smooth. The interior gets better sound deadening, so it's going to be more quiet than a non-hybrid powertrain. And towing for the Forester goes to 1,500 pounds and 3,000 pounds for the Wilderness. LED taillights, that's going to be standard on all the hybrid trims. The lower gets the reverse sensors with the reverse camera. 360-degree reverse camera is only going to be on the touring hybrid with a single exhaust that's exposed. Some pros is you start off with the premium hybrid, so you're starting off with more features at a $36,595 MSRP. 40% more MPGs. It's updated on the exterior. The interior gets the latest technology with the Subaru eyesights. You still got the ground clearance. I mean, these are definitely reasons why I would tick the box if I was looking for that off-roadsy vehicle that can get the job done and gets better MPGs. But now on some cons. Because of the hybrid, you're losing the spare tire, you're losing some cargo capacity. The rear, you'll see in the drive, is a little bit stiffer in the suspension opposed to the non-hybrid because of that battery. Even though you're getting 40% more MPGs with this, it's still not going to be the best in class. Toyota's going to pass it, and pretty much everybody will, because this actually uses all four wheels for the all-wheel drive or the symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Power liftgate going into 29.6 cubic feet of storage. Privacy cover. You can do some cool things with this. You can have it this way. You can also flip it up that way, so it makes it easier and more room, more or less. You get bag holders here on both sides with a 12 volt in between. Here is where your tire pump is. You have a little storage tray right here. The Harman Kardon comes into play, and underneath the floor gets a little bit of storage right in here. The nice thing about Subaru is they do it correct. To split fold the rear bench, you pull these levers here. It folds at a 40-60 split, maxing cargo to 69.1 cubic feet of storage. And here is where you can turn on and off the light, which is an LED light, and you get the Subaru print. The key fob to the new Forester Hybrid. Now the nice thing about the four trims is they all come with standard power driver seat and heated front seats. Cloth seats is standard. The Sport gets the Star Tech seats. Now this is for the hybrid trim. The Limited will get the leather as well as the Touring Hybrid. The Touring will add the ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel. Then you're going to have the standard 11.6-inch screen. 6 speakers is standard on the base hybrid. The Sport trim will get the 11 speakers through Harman Kardon, 576 watts. It's not a driver-focused setup, so I like that. And I like the pattern that comes into play. You get the wood here. The auto dimming with the home link is an option. The smart mirror is only an option when you get into the Touring Hybrid. Let's fire it up. I'm sure that's not what everybody was expecting, to not hear an engine. Well, this is a hybrid, so that's going to happen that way. You get navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's wirelessly. It still has a little bit of the glitch, but that's to be expected. I'm glad that on all hybrids, this is the screen configuration that you get. You're not going to have that two-stack screen if you go into a base trim. Car information, this is kind of nice. If you do any type of off-roading, you have to pitch and roll. And this has 8.7 inches of clearance, so you may want to do that. It also will show you for your maintenance here, and you can also go up here to change the different driving modes on the X mode. Put it into reverse, and you get a reverse camera. The trajectory will expand. You have rear backup assist, and the 360-degree camera is only going to be on the Touring trim with the dual climate control settings that you can just click here, or you can actually click the buttons. So I like that they still have physical buttons to do that, as well as knobs and to turn on and off the sound system with the wireless charging pad, USB ports. Glossy black will surround the shifter area. 12 volt is tucked right here, right next to an area that you can put another smartphone. This is going to be soft. It opens up to a smaller storage pocket, but it is pretty deep. Steering wheel is leather, multi-function, paddle shifts. And the gauge cluster is unique to the hybrid. So I like this 12.3 digital reader. You got the navigation. It shows for your power or for the eco. So whenever you're driving it, if you want to really get the maximum fuel efficiency, this is, I guess, the screen for you. And it could go through an array of different content for the driver. Leg space for the front occupants is more than enough. It's a box in the interior. The same thing for headroom. They do a good job with a pano moonroof that kind of goes to the middle of the back seats. LED interior lights, door panel and dashboard configuring together nicely, and you get the cloth that's going to be right here with the leatherette that's going to be underneath it. One touch up and down for the front windows. It's going to be a little bit more sporty with a long storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out. You have a total of 4 bottle holders, so 1 in each door. The only con that I have coming into this though is, look, there's just so many buttons. I mean, I like buttons, but then here, everything is more or less derived through the infotainment screen. For the back seats, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down. Move this plastic out the way. USB charging ports. Heated seats is only on the touring hybrid air vents. And now you have 1, 2, 3 pockets of storage behind both. So a smaller cell phone here, or maybe a little bit larger. You can put some notes here. I really don't know. I don't use them myself. The door card is going to have the same materials found in the front, so you got the cloth up here. It's going to be sporty here, a large grab handle so you can fit a larger smartphone with a smaller storage pocket, but you can see those beverage holders carved out for the bottles. Sitting behind me, the seats are carved out, so you have plenty of leg room, and the same thing with headroom. Subaru just does an excellent job carving out space. Sliding into the center, you will be sharing some feet space because the rails are kind of on this pedestal here, so you have to slide over a little bit. Sharing leg, butt, and shoulder space. But knee space isn't bad, so you can still get to your charging ports there. And the same thing for headroom. It's actually somewhat carved out for you right here to make it a little bit easier for us tall people at 6'3". A combined of 194 horsepower, 8.7 inches of ground clearance. And the motivation whenever you're coming off from a stop point is going to feel a lot more powerful than the non-hybrid trim. So I think they did a great job there because it feels more quicker and you're still getting 40% more MPGs. And one thing you will notice from my reviews, whenever I'm doing them, I always try to stress the interior noise, and you don't hear the engine at all. Only when you're mashing the gas pedal. Otherwise, it's really quiet. Now, it's not as sealed up as I would like, but it is still more quiet than a normal or non-hybrid Forester. And when you're considering this is a box on wheels, the ground clearance that it's boasting, I mean, these are a lot of reasons why you're going to hear the outside noise coming in. On top of that, we have 18-inch wheels. Maneuverability, steering is light. Braking is good too. It doesn't feel heavy, which is a good thing because we have added around 300 pounds to this vehicle opposed to the non-hybrids. This is just EV. Motor hasn't even clicked in yet. Now you can hear the engine when it clicks in, but again, only when you're mashing the gas pedal. The seats are comfortable. The suspension though, in the back, it feels a little bit more bouncy, and that's derived because it's a little bit more stiff from the battery. So when they add the weight to the vehicle, it's not a dynamic vehicle. So they're not gonna look for like a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Visibility is always good. It doesn't quite feel like 8.7 inches of clearance, so I appreciate that. Large windscreen, acoustic front windscreen. Now going into competition, interior space is where it's at because you have a ton of cargo capacity. You have a total of 4 bottle holders throughout the door cards. And you have enough charging ports, wireless connectivity, navigation, Subaru EyeSight, and that's your driving enhanced safety assistance, which where they located it, it's on the top of the windscreen. And the key features that it adds is your adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, sway warning, pre-collision braking, automatic emergency steering, pre-collision throttle management, and that reduces engine power if a frontal collision is detected. Lane departure warning, pedestrian and cyclist detection. It basically gives you an extra set of eyes on the road that's constantly monitoring the surroundings, and it intervenes when it's necessary to help for an accident. Turn radius at more or less a stop point. It's about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. It does feel a lot more powerful. And I like that because it's a hybrid and you still have some performance. Now this is not a performance variant to take on the track, but you could do some off-roading, some Jeep trails. It's gonna tick the box for your everyday use. And really the only problems that I have otherwise is this infotainment screen. It still has quite a bit of glitch whenever you're actually using it, but they still have physical buttons, so I appreciate that, even though they do go a little bit over the top with the buttons. But let me know what you think about the newly redesigned Subaru Forester Hybrid in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check this next video out right here.